What's going on, y'all? It's the Kid J Nolan here. Hey, man, I'm back with another video, and today we got to talk about Omi in a Hellcat, man. He was just sentenced to 5.5 years federal prison time. And we got to talk about what exactly happened and how he got to this place. So Bill Omar Carrasquillo, or Carrasquillo, I don't know how to say his name, Carrasquillo, whatever, better known to over 800,000 people online as Omi in a Hellcat. He pleaded guilty last year to running one of the most brazen and successful cable TV piracy schemes ever prosecuted by the U.S. government. He's become very popular for showing off, slickly produced videos flaunting his fleet of luxury and sports cars, a collection of diamond encrusted bling, and a spacious mansion, which he's going to be forced to give up after being sentenced Tuesday to 5.5 years in prison due to illegal business that allowed him to amass that success. As part of his sentencing on Tuesday of this week, he was ordered to forfeit more than $30 million in assets, including nearly $6 million in cash, cars including Lamborghinis, Porsches, Bentleys, and McLarens, and a portfolio of more than a dozen properties across Philadelphia and its suburbs. Now, the district judge, Harvey Bartle, said $30 million is a lot of money, but tangible objects aren't everything. You have a large following, and there may be people who think if you can get away with this, they can too. So they made him an example of anybody that even had the inkling or the thought to try to pick up where he left off. Omi, who's 36, apologized to his family, his employees, and the cable companies he's cheated through his business, which illegally sold content hijacked from cable boxes to thousands of online subscribers, paying fees as low as $15 a month. So he basically had his own Comcast. What's most surprising to me is the fact that people were actually buying it when you could go on Broken Silence and M4U free, but he had niggas paying. In a quote, he says, "I really didn't know the significance of this crime until I was picked up by the FBI at my home. I feel like I let everybody down." And although they took a lot of time to, speak on his crimes and different charges that they were trying to pin on him, which included counts of conspiracy, copyright infringement, fraud, money laundering, and tax evasion, a lot of the hearing on Tuesday was actually focused on his remarkable rags to riches story. He was a product of North Philadelphia. He was raised as one of 38 children. His mother was deported and died of an overdose when he was still a child. His father was a drug dealer and trained him to do the same about age 12, in which he taught him to cook crack cocaine. Coming up, he ping-ponged between relatives' homes and foster care, including a stint with one caretaker who intentionally had him committed to a mental health facility for access to prescription narcotics that he would later sell on the streets. So they had him going in and out of these places to smuggle drugs at such a young age, man. It's crazy. He spent much of his teenage years and early 20s in and out of prison for drugs and other offenses. Now, this fraudulent cable company that he started was launched in 2016 and known at various points by names like Gears TV and Gears Reloaded, was a leader among so-called illicit IPTV services, which is $1 billion industry, $1 billion per year industry, It provided its subscribers hundreds of on-demand movies and TV shows, as well as access to dozens of live cable channels and pay-per-view events at cut-rate pricing, all of it being stolen from legitimate services like Comcast, Verizon, Fios, and DirecTV. The service was proven to be wildly successful, which attracted more than 100,000 subscribers and amassing more than $34 million in revenue by the time the feds finally found out about him and shut it down back in 2019. Despite his guilty plea, Omi and his lawyer both suggested at various points during the proceedings that Gears TV had at least initially operated within a legal gray area. A lot of successful people are able to exploit those gray areas, so I'm not mad at them in that sense. But let's keep going. Congress moved last year to more clearly define the type of business he was running as illegal. Omi, in videos posted to his YouTube channel over the last year, he was arguing that he legally paid for subscriptions to all the cable services whose content he was accused of pirating. So basically, he had paid for all of these services and was just redistributing all of that stuff. So at the end of the day, it really is copyright infringement, because just paying for a cable service doesn't mean that you can broadcast that same stuff to thousands of people on your own platform. It's only for your personal use, you know what I'm saying? So it is a gray area. I'm not gonna sit here and try to condemn him for this, but this is a sad story nonetheless. In one video posted under the title, "The FBI seized everything from me," he likened what he did to inviting friends who don't have cable over to your home and taking up a collection to pay for a pay-per-view event. He said, "I'm only guilty of making money. I am guilty of nothing else." The prosecutors, of course, begged to differ. They said this was illegal the entire time. He noted that Omi had made more money from his operation than virtually every other copyright defendant he's ever seen. The message to the general public and Mr. Carriscolo's many fans is that this was a serious offense that should yield significant punishment. And as he stood before the judge on Tuesday, Omi acknowledged he'd since had a change of heart. One inspired, ironically, by a television show produced by Disney, a company whose content he had been accused of stealing. He described viewing a behind-the-scenes documentary on Pixar and the work of thousands of employees that goes into making each of his animated films. So he was watching these behind-the-scenes documentaries and noticed how much hard work actually goes into creating content that he was basically exploiting. And then he noticed how many people he was ripping off in the process of making his bread. He did not fight the prosecutor's request that he pay nearly $11 million in restitution to the cable companies and an additional $5.7 million to the IRS for unpaid taxes. And here we have it, y'all. Seems to me the unpaid taxes is the real problem, but they're going to try to take him down on everything because it was just too big of a portfolio not to take down. And he swore that once released from prison, he intends to focus on his family and legitimate ventures like his YouTube channel and online marketing business. As Tuesday's hearing concluded, he paused to address the judge. He says, "This sentence saved my life." So he's handling this with an extreme amount of grace. He's not putting up a fight. He's paying his debts gladly, gleefully. He's taking his 5.5-year sentence happily because he knows when he gets out, he's going right back to YouTube. He's going to go right back to teaching people online marketing, which showing his track record of success and how he did things, he's going to have plenty of people that buy into it, whether it was an illegal operation or not. Man, operating within the loopholes of society and being able to amass over $30 million in a short time frame, he could take that same expertise and skill into any industry of his choosing and still be successful. All right, that's what I got for y'all on this one, man. Be sure to like and share this video. Comment down below with your thoughts. If this is your first time seeing any of my content on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit the post notification bell for all updates, and I will see y'all on the next one. Okay? Much love and respect, y'all. Peace.